Hello, assalamu alaikum. In the last lecture video, actually, we talked about logical functions, right? So if you go to the formulas and you will see here the logical function. There are lots of logical functions are in here. For example, in total 11 logical function, but in the last video, actually, we used frequently used or widely used 8 logical function, right? So each and every time I'm saying that each and every functions are not equally important for all students, right? So today we'll learn about the math and stat function. So here in the formula tab, if you go to the math and trig, right, you will find lots of functions are in here, right? On the other hand, if you go to the more functions, the statistical function, there are lots of statistical functions are in here, right? Okay. So in this video, actually, we'll try to cover some frequently used math and stat function, right? Okay, so first one is the count function. So what is count function? If I would like to calculate or investigate or determine how many numeric values in my data set, right? In that case, we can use the count function. For example, if we write, say for example, the count equal count, right? First parenthesis and just select the whole data set, right? Bracket close and enter. So you'll see here there are 7 numeric values. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 numeric values, right? So uh, if I count here, for example, this one, count C8. For example, here it's C8, right? And this is the D11. Okay, so D11. So in this way we can calculate the count, how many numeric values in my data set, right? On the other hand, if you would like to calculate all the values, for example, including the numeric value and the textual value, so in that case actually we can use the in this way, equal count a means count all, right? Count a means count all. Okay, so first bracket and select all the select the whole data set, right? Bracket close and enter, you will get the 8, right? So for example, you will get 8 in here. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so you will get 8 in here. On the other hand, just click OK. Here actually calculate, if I go there, right? So this is the function. Okay, in this way actually we can calculate the count a, I mean count all the values in my data set. On the other hand, for example, I delete this one and I have already deleted this one, right? Automatically see here the count right now the 6, right? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values, 5 numeric values, and in total the 6 values, right? On the other hand, if I would like to investigate the blank cell, so in that way we can use the blank cell. For example, right now equal count bl count blank, right? First parenthesis and select all the data set, click OK. So you see here 1, 2, there are 2 blank cells in my data set, right? So how we can calculate it? For example, in this way. So this is the function, right? So in this way, so we have already learned how to use the count a and count blank. Count a for identifying the total numeric values, count all, it means including all values, textual value and numeric value, right? And count blank will give you the result of the blank cell actually. So where we can use, when we can use the count blank, for example, in the survey data, when you collect the survey, right? In the survey data, there are lots of missing value. It's natural, right? It's natural. So if you'd like to investigate how many missing values in my data set, so you can use the count blank function, right? So right now, so count blank, that's fine. So percentage. So to be honest, we learned the percentage from our childhood, right? From our childhood. So there are 2 ways of writing the percentage. For example, here this is the value, right? The value is, for example, value is 300%, yeah, sorry, 370, right? And I would like to calculate its 12 percent, right? 12%, for example, 12%, right? So if I'd like to calculate it here, for example, equal this value into this value, right? It's a total percentage. Okay, you'll get this percentages in here, right? So how we can investigate it? What is the um, so here you can see the result, how we can investigate. On the other hand, for example, I would like to investigate some profit percentage. For example, for a product, buying price is equal to, say, for example, 125, right? And the it's the buying price, and sell price, for example, 175, right? So if I would like to calculate the percentage, I mean the profit percentage, right? So here is uh, profit percentage. So in this way, actually, we can calculate like this. For example, equal first parenthesis, okay, selling price. What is the selling price? And just 1 minute. Okay, okay, here equal first parenthesis. This is the selling price, right? And minus the buying price, right? So it means it's a profit. This is the profit, right? So divided by the sale price. Okay, sorry, divided by the mm, uh, buying price, right? So this is the profit. But if you'd like to calculate the percentage, so go to the home and just click the percentage, you'll get the 39. So if you would like to see the value is in fraction, so you can, oh no, there is no fraction, right? So it's the 40%. So how we can do it actually in this way, right? Okay, so it's the function, right? Okay. On the other hand, we can do this 45%, for example, in this way. Say for example, just click the values here, right? Okay. Into here, you need to put another parenthesis, right? Into 100, into 100. Okay. So value is same, right? The profit percentage. So you can also use this one. Control C, and in this way we can also use this value, right? So it's both same actually. Okay, so in this way actually we can calculate the profit percentage. On the way, on the other hand, you can investigate the loss percentage, right? Okay, so next one is the rand variable, rand, right? Okay, so what is the rand? Rand function is will give you the random value, right? So if we use, for example, this is the rand and random, right? So equal rand. Okay, first parenthesis, second parenthesis. That's great. So you will get a value, right? So if I calculate in this way, okay. Okay, so this is the random variable, right? So we can make it a more decimal value, right? Less decimal, more decimal, it depends on you. Okay, so random value. If I would like to calculate the rand between, for example, when you will create the command of rand variable, right, or rand function, so you will get the value, I mean the output value. These are the output values. So you will get all the output values from greater than 0 to less than 1. Please see here, all the values are greater than 0 and less than 1, right? So if you use the rand function, you will get these types of value, greater than 0 and less than 1. But if I would like to investigate some specific value, for example, I would like to get some random number from 100 to 10,000, right? So that's the rand rand between, right? So here I will write be rand between first parenthesis. So what is my minimum value? Minimum value is equal to 100, right? Sorry, 100, and the maximum value is 10,000, right? So 10,000. Okay. So you will get this value from 100 to 10,000 definitely, right? So drag and drop. Please see here, all the values are between 100 to 10,000, right? So there is a problem actually, not problem. You will see, you will see when I am making a command in the worksheet, right, or the workspace, each and every time the value is changing and values are changing, right? Why? Because here is the rand function, here is the rand function, here is the rand between function, right? Okay, so as the rand and rand function is situated in this worksheet, and when you will give any types of command, each and every time actually the value will be changed. In some cases, maybe you don't need to, after calculating the rand or random rand between, right? So you don't need to change the variable, right? In that case, just select the values, Control C, and here you can put the country. This is the value. I mean the value paste, right? I mean, please see here 1 2 3 value paste. So right now these are the value. Please see here. These all are the value, right? So value will not change. For example, I'm making the, please see here, so these values are changing but these values are not changing, right? So this is the function of rand and rand between, the same actually, rand and rand between. Okay, that's the round function. Round function, it means actually for example, for example, it's a sales, monthly sales, right? So there is a fraction. So if I would like to eliminate the section, fraction, so uh, equal round, round, right? So first parenthesis, this one, select the, select, so for example, select this one, right? That's 0. Okay. Okay. So right now, it's, please see here, all the values are, uh, the, I mean the round value, right? So there is a indication when you will have the value, I mean this decimal value is greater than the 0.25, sorry, 0.50, then you will get the next value. When here you see 3 point, sorry, 0.34, right? 123.34, so it's less than 0.5, so you get the previous value, right? So this is the round function. So mod function, so what is the mod function? Mod function is basically, now will give you the remainder value. For example, I have a value to, 12, right? For example, I have a value 12, right? I would like to divide this value by 5. So after divide by 5, the value 12, right? You will get the fraction value. So what is the remainder? So 5 into 10, 5 into 2 is equal to 10. That 2 will be the remainder, right? So calculating the remainder, we can use the mod function. So for example, here you can use the mod equal mod, right? Okay, and this value is divided by this value, I mean divisor, right? Oh, sorry, comma, divisor. What is the divisor? This is the divisor. Okay, just click and you will get, so you will get all the values, right? So these all are the remainders here. 50, 10 into 5 is equal to 50, so there is no remainder, that is why it's 0. Okay, so once again there is a confusion between the mod and mode function, right? I'm not sure the mode function is in here or not. Okay, mode, and for example the mode function, mode, I can rename it the mode function, right? Okay, I would like to calculate, for example, the mode function. That's great. 20 or 34, 30, right? So okay, it's a mode function, right? Margin central, okay. For example, equal to rand between, rand between 1 to 10,000, right? So 1 to 10,000. Okay, so I'd like to create some random variables, and I'd like some random variables is in here, right? And would like to investigate what is the most or frequently used or maximum used number as in here, right? So just Control C and I make it the value paste, right? Okay, then the value will not change. Right now we can create equal mode, then sorry, equal mode. So select the data set, right, and click enter. Okay, so 6989 is the most frequently used value, right? So if I would like to count, right, how many, okay, no issue. So this is the mode function. So how we can did it equal, and for example, this is the function. Okay, so using this function, we can use, so I can make it a large, okay, 20. Okay, that's great. So using this, you can use the mode function. Okay, then this count ifs function. Count ifs function. So what is the count if function? Actually, here is a small data set. Here is a small data set, right? So first one is the John, salespersons, the sales year and the sales volume, right? So for example, I would like to count the if function. Okay, so count if, it means the single condition. Okay, on the other hand, count ifs, it means the multiple condition, I mean more than a single condition, right? So count if, for example, if I would like to investigate the value, uh, so for example, okay, if I would like to investigate the value less than 10,000, right? So equal to count if, then range. Please see here, range. So what is the range? This is the range, right? And after the comma, it's asking the range criteria. What is the range criteria? Is great less than 10,000, right? So bracket, quotation bracket plus enter. You see here how many values here, the less than 10,000, only one value, right? So this is the only value. Okay. On the other hand, if I would like to calculate this one, I would like to solve this problem. How many times John got more than 10,000 of sale, right? So John and 10,000, there are two variables. For example, equal count ifs. Okay, so multiple conditions. So first one is criteria range. So criteria range is here. Please see here. This is the criteria range 1, comma. So what is the criteria? John, Geo, Ace. This is the criteria, right? Comma. And criteria range 2. So this is the criteria range 2, comma. So what is the criteria? Criteria is equal to uh, less than 10,000. Okay, this is the criteria, right? So bracket close and enter. You will see here John and less than 10,000. John, there are two Johns in here. John. So less than 10,000, uh, less than 10,000, John and John. Count if John, John, John. And here you will get less than 10,000. uh, Less than 10,000, only one. It's less than 10,000. No, it's taking the approximate value, right? I'm not sure why it's not taking. So if I see, sorry, if I write here the greater than 10,000, John, greater than 10,000, right? So you'll find two. So John 1, John. So these two are the John, right? John, and the value is greater than 10,000, right? On the other hand, for example, oh, there is another John. That is why, I'm sorry, the previous calculation is also right? Okay, here uh, you can see the two, right? These two John actually sold more than 10,000, but one John didn't sell less than 1,000. But if I make it a red color or like some okay, just this color, right? This John is this color, and if we make it the less than, right, not greater than, okay, so maybe you'll see the one, right? So one John sold actually less than 10,000, right? So here this is the example of count if and count ifs function. Right now the sum ifs, right? Okay, and there are two others options. So one is the sum if and sum ifs. So it's quite similar to the uh, count if function, sum ifs one, count ifs function, average if and average ifs. For example, there is a very small data set, right? Okay, this is a very small data set. uh, okay, it's a very small data set, right? So sum if, sorry, I'm really sorry, my god. Okay, count if. So sorry, sum if. Sum if, it means the single condition equal sum if. For example, what I would like to calculate, for example, sales is less than 5,000, for example 3,000. So cell column is comma, and criteria is less than 3,000, right? So criteria close and this enter. So sum of cell less than 3,000, less than 3,000, less than 3,000, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3, less than 3. Please see here, 14,000 in the status bar. You can see 14,225. So here the same, right? So we are right. So sum ifs function, basically it will be the multiple condition. For example, I would like to investigate uh, John's total sale, which is less than 33,000. Okay, so once again, John's total sale, which is less than 3,000. So equal sum ifs, right? As comma first sum range. So when you will use the sum ifs function, average ifs function, this is the difference between the if and ifs. When you will use the ifs, sum ifs and average ifs, right? So at first you need to put the sum range. So this is the anomaly, right? So sum range. Okay, done. Comma. So first one is criteria range. So for example, this is my criteria, right? This is my criteria. Okay. Okay, this is my criteria once again. Criteria, comma, criteria range is less than 3,000, right? So criteria 1 fulfilled. Criteria 2, this is the name variable, comma, criteria 2 JOH, and this is the criteria 2. Okay, so bracket close and enter, right? So please see here, I can make it a more, I can make it more little bit large, right? Okay, so I think it's more visible. Okay, so sum if and count, sorry, sum ifs. So sum ifs just calculate the values, I mean sales value, which is less than 3,000. On the other hand, here I need to investigate John's total sale, which is less than 3,000, right? So same, actually the average and average ifs, right? So equal average, right? First bracket. So this is the sales average sale, which is less than 3,000. So criteria less than 3,000, average sale less than, oh, sorry, 30,000, less than 3,000. So oh, average sale is less than 3,000. What's wrong? I'm not sure. Okay, let me calculate once again. Equal average if, okay, average if, this is the range, right? Comma, average range, sorry, criteria, right? So criteria is less than 3,000, right? So okay, it's great, right? So what was the wrong? I'm not sure actually. Okay, so average ifs, for example, same, equal average ifs, right? So once again, we need to select the range function. For example, this one, sales range, comma, range criteria 1, this is the range criteria, and comma, less than 3,000, right? Okay, comma, and second criteria, for example, for second criteria, for example, north, right? North sale, which is less than 3,000. Okay, north regions average sales, which is less than 3,000. Okay, comma, here north, RTH, north region. Okay, region wise, very close and enter. So we can show it. So here we can understand what is the sum if, sum ifs, average if, and average ifs, right? So we have done already this one, right? So average ifs. Here is a simple, here is a very simple, uh, how can I say, uh, very simple data set, right? Okay, it's a very small data set, sales data set. So I would like to calculate the total production quantity, right? So here, total production quantity, it means I need to use the sum function, equal sum total production quantity. That means select this one and bracket close and enter, right? Okay, total salary, I'd like to investigate the total salary. Okay, equal sum, right? Bracket close. So total salary, select the total salary range, and so here's the total salary range, average salary, the same actually, equal average, right? Okay, select the salary range, bracket close and enter. This is the average salary. Okay, but here is a condition, right? Average salary of male, average salary of female. So it means that I need to use the average if function. So average if function, right? So I need to make it the average salary, this one, right? What's wrong? I didn't put the equal sign. Okay, equal a z average if, right? So this one range, what is the range? This one is the range, right? So range, right? I'm sorry, range, this is not range. Here is the range, right? Okay, range criteria only m, right? And what is the output variable? I mean the average range. This is the average range. Okay, it's the average range. Okay, so here is the male's average salary. So how will you calculate the female's average salary? Simple. Click Control C, right? So here will be Control V, but just replace the male by female, right? So okay, that's great. Here's the female's average salary. So here is a slightly discrimination between the sales average salary and female's average salary, right? It's not a big issue, right? It's not big actually. Only probably is quite. So if I calculate this one minus this one, it's around 50 or $60, right? There's the discrimination or difference. Okay. On the other hand, I would like to number of employee, total number of employees. So we need to use the count function equal count, right? count, sorry, co into count function and number. So as these are the textual value and we are using the count, in that case actually we cannot select this range, right? Because it's a textual value. And when we can use the count function, please see remember the first beginning of the lecture, right? So count means the numeric value. It will count the total numeric value. So I can write here. So in total, there are 10 employees, right? On the other hand, how many male employees? Okay, equal count if, right? First parenthesis, range. What is the, this is the range, and range criteria equal to male, right? Range criteria is equal to male. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, range and range. Oh, sorry, here is a single quotation, right? But we need to put it a double quotation. Okay. So this one, okay, that's great. So if you would like to investigate the females, same. So just here, let's replace this one, the fem, if, right? Okay, that's great. Okay. So these are the frequently used or commonly used how can I say, the math function and stat function. Once again, we can repeat here. So we learned the count function, count a function, count blank function, right? Percentage and rand between round, mode, once is mode and mode, and count if, sum ifs, count ifs, right? Some ifs, and here there is a simple data set for practice, right? So this all about I mean the for beginners this is all about the math function and stat function. I will try my best to give more example in the next video, right? So do practice at your home. If you have any questions, so you can write in the comments box, right? I will try my best in my free time or as early as possible to give you the best solution in the easiest way, right? So up to the next video, Allah Hafiz, and keep me in your prayers always. Okay, tata, bye bye.